Right. All right, we're going up with it.
Yep.
It's about another.
About
Got
another
to clear
foot.
this oil pan, so it's got to go some more.
Say it's probably about there.
It was.
Just come real slow, no jerky movement.
All right, I'm just gonna push it slow through this. Watch everything.
Beautiful.
More.
Now it's gonna come back as we lower.
Okay.
So we'll just come, is that got the thing about hair trigger on it, or does it come down? pretty
No,
slow?
it's not too bad.
Okay, let's try and come down just a little bit.
Should we come forward a little bit, or, oh no, you're saying when the boom comes down, it's gonna move toward the back of the car?
Yes, exactly, so,
All right, keep your hands clear, of course.
yeah, we'll just take it slow. That's perfect speed right there.
Stopped.
Did it?
Yeah.
All right, well,
Oh,
don't.
it's just got that latch on there.
Oh, okay, tighten it back up.
Never mind. Okay. That's what it's there for.
Yep. All right, so we'll pull the latch.
Yeah.
Perfect. All right, man, what a cool feature.
I know, I have not seen one of those. I'm sure they've had them forever.
Keep you from wrecking a frame in an oil pan.
All right.
All right, take it nice. That's perfect speed right there. Just kind of
Guys, that's clearing everything pretty good over here.
guide her into place here. You know, believe it or not, we're not far off. Let's stop right there.
Okay.
And we'll come backward, just, forward on that, just a little bit.
Okay. To the front of the car?
No, push towards me. Okay, that's about good right there, I think.
All right. Well, happy Saturday, everybody. Thought I would do a little update on my engine upgrade in my old Galaxie. Some of the earlier videos that I put up showed that I've had a lot of trouble with the engine that was in there. About 6 weeks ago, I was coming back from a little trip up to town close by to have the front end aligned. And when I got back, I noticed a pretty loud clicking noise in the valve train. So I tried a couple of different tricks to see if there was a way to get past that without having to go in and do a total rebuild. Found out that this particular situation was one where the valve train or the rocker arms on a 351 Windsor engine are torqued down to a certain torque setting and they're not adjustable. And so the preload is actually set by virtue of the tappets or the lifters and the rod length or the push rod length. So you can't adjust them. And so when I pulled it apart, as some of you may have seen, the valves lifters one of the lifters was in bad shape. Pulled it apart, pulled the cam out, the cam was gone, basically just trashed. So I was trying to decide what I was gonna do. Did I wanna find a crate motor somewhere, and they're terribly expensive? Did I wanna try to rebuild it myself? Or did I wanna buy a remanufactured one, regular OEM spec? If I could find one, I looked around all over the internet, and there's some in Orlando I could get, there's some out in Texas I could get, and 2 or 3 other places. Didn't have a whole lot of confidence in whether that was really a good idea. So I found a local shop about 50 miles away from here, and actually further than that, it's about 90 miles away. So I pulled the engine and took it to them. So I think the last video, it was of basically I was pulling the engine and talking about some of the things I'd run into and what was I gonna do. So what I did do was I got the engine out and I found these folks up in north of here, and I'll post more when I know for sure am I satisfied. So far, it took them about 2 weeks to do it. Really, it was less than 2 weeks, and I got it back here, and I've already got it back in the car. And really, really pleased with the service. And they gave me good specs on it, and they did an oil pressure check on it. They did not do a engine run test on it like an engine stand, but I've talked to 2 professional shops and 2 of the local auto parts stores where people that I know work there, and all 4 of those parties said that these guys do a great job. So I feel really good about it. I think it's going to be great. So I've got it back in. I thought I'd do a quick update. And I'm not good at editing all of this stuff, so I apologize for the quality of the videos and all. It is what it is. I don't want to try to learn anything new ever again if I can manage it. But anyway, I don't know how to do that. So maybe I'll try to learn how to do a little better editing in the future. So I'm gonna just show you what I've got so far right now. I'm going through the process of painting some of the components, the accessories, the intake manifold. You'll see that it's a aftermarket Edelbrock. And that I'll paint it. It's actually aluminum, but I'll put a silver paint on it with a clear coat. And the engine was done Ford blue. And right now, water pump, I've got a new water pump for it, but I haven't painted it yet, and I'll be doing that over the next 2 or 3 days. I'll be getting everything put back together and painted, and I'm gonna try to get it running this week. So this is the 11th. There's a couple of car shows coming up in the near future, like about 2 weeks from today, I think, and 3 weeks from today. So I want to try to make those. They're about 30 or 40 miles away. So, but stand by and I'll show you a few of the things I've done, and we'll go from there. See ya. Okay, so this is what it looks like so far. We got it back in last night. My friend Jay came over. Thanks, Jay. Appreciate all the help. Jay's about 35 years younger than me and a whole heck of a lot stronger and bigger. So it would have been really, really hard to get it back in and get it mated up to the bell housing and the torque converter by myself. What I'm thinking about it, somebody was asking me the other day on one of the groups, and I don't know if it was somebody that will see this or not, and I failed to respond, and I apologize, but that guy was asking about the engine mounts, because I had told him told the group that I had an engine swap from originally a 289 small black Ford, which is what it came with, to the 351 Windsor, which was a later engine. They used them for about 20 years after this thing was originally built, and in lots of different cars and trucks. But what I found, and I'll get in here a little bit close, is if you're watching this, that's the engine mount system, mounts to the frame, and the lower half of it is a saddle that is bolted directly to the frame cross member. And then there is a second part with a rubber block in it that mounts to the bottom of 2 places on the engine. Then the whole unit slides down on top of the bottom saddle, and that through bolt right there goes through it. And what I found was that it was a common part that I believe that all of the Ford small blocks, the 289, 302, 352, 351, all of them use that same engine mount configuration. So apparently it was a straight swap using the same engine mounts. So if I'm wrong, I apologize. Do some more research on that, and if I am wrong, somebody let me know. But I'm think that's the way that it went. So it went good, and I'll show while I'm thinking about it. This is the old one. It goes up underneath the engine, and it bolts like that, and the through bolt goes right through those holes right there, and it sets down on top of that frame on that saddle that's built, that just bolts the frame. So it's basically a two-part engine mount system. And this right here in the middle is rubber. You can tell where that's cracked, so it had to be replaced, so I found that locally. So anyway, that's sort of where I am. I'm still doing some painting. This is the aftermarket, and this was already on the engine, and this works great. But I'm gonna actually paint that silver, because I'm afraid that aluminum will oxidize. The water pump will go, it'll be blue as well. And I'm redoing the manifolds, exhaust manifolds. So that's sort of where I am. There's lots of goodies that still have to go on. I'll paint this black, these two pulleys black. On my balancer, just bolt up blue. So far, I'm really happy with what I've seen. The quality of the workmanship when they did the engine, they cleaned it really well and blasted it, or media blasted it. They did a really good job, and they tapped all the retapped all the holes just to make sure that there's no debris, sand or media that gets stuck in there, or paint or anything, or rust or anything that could cause you to strip it when you start putting it together. Thing I like about this one is it was such a big concept to go in and pull an engine totally apart. And I've done lots and lots of motorcycle engines, but I've never done a car engine. They're just way more involved. And if you pull that apart, get just one little thing wrong, just because I've never done it before, and then I go put it all back together, put it back in the car, and there's a problem, it's an enormous amount of work. For me, at my level of expertise, which is not very high, it's probably a easy full day's work to get all the accessories off of it and get it out of there. And then it'd be easy 2 days work for me by myself, and that's assuming somebody could just help me get it back in and bolted up to the bell housing, because that's the tricky part. Was I disconnected the engine from the bell housing and then pulled it straight out, so the torque converter and transmission stayed in the car, which comes out easy, but getting it back in and getting it lined up with the torque converter is really hard. So it was hard for me. And again, thanks, Jay, appreciate it. And so that's it. Not making headway. So it's been about 5 or 6 weeks, I guess, since I had it up there having the alignment done. And so I'm gonna call it there. I'll put up another one here shortly. I don't know if anybody's really interested in this stuff or not. I kind of geek out on it because it's fun. But feel free to put any comments down below, and let me know if I got something wrong or got suggestions. I open to suggestions, appreciate it. All right, we'll catch you all later. Have a great day. Gone.